To all of my fellow Voyager riders, especially the VN 1700, did you ever notice that there really isn't a whole lot of aftermarket stuff available? I know it doesn't need much. I'm only doing a couple little things to it. But one of the things that really chapped my butt was the fact that Kawasaki, for some stupid reason, even though they've been making this bike for years, they stopped carrying the Kawasaki luggage rack for this. I don't know why. Kawasaki has one for like, I don't know, I've seen it for as low as $208, and you can twist it in, it's universal fit and all this stuff. And then, let me see, there's another Showchrome, I think, makes one. And it looks like, I don't know, more of a drying rack. I mean, to each his own. If you guys have that and you love it, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't like the ones that come way out here and way out here, and next thing you know, you got this giant chrome eyesore back here. I wanted something a bit more discreet. So what I did was, after contemplating for over a month, taking measurements and coming back and forth, like a lot of you guys probably do, I went ahead and settled on this little guy right here. Now it's flipped over, so let me show you. I just want to show you the back end of it. It is curved, concave this way. It's all bolted together. It's got these neat little things I'll show you on the other side. The problem is it's made to bolt directly onto, I think it's a Harley. Everything's made for Harley. I don't know why they don't make anything for this one, but it's too low. And of course, this will go ahead and touch, and there's a big old gap. So what I ended up doing, first I tried making spacers out of rubber stoppers, and I did my best to drill the holes in the middle, and that was a big pain in the butt. And then getting the height just right, I still didn't like the way it looked. When I went ahead and put the bolt through it, it just didn't look right. It looked cobbled. It looked like something that, you know, I did in my garage, and it looked aftermarket. It looked really stupid. So I wanted to basically come up with something that after I install it, it's going to look factory. So instead of using these rubber things here and cutting them to different lengths and trying to figure it out, I ended up settling on this little packet right here, along with the hardware right here. Because this comes with some 6mm by 1.0mm by, I think they're only 20, and they're too short. Again, it's made for the bike that this is made for. This is not made for the Kawasaki, but I just really like the rack. So these are the bolts I ended up getting right here. Came in a big old pack. I think it was like $11 or something like that for 10 of them. And they're a good grade of high-grade stainless steel. I don't like messing around and worrying about rust. And over here, these little things basically are, they're like an ABS plastic, different types of, and they're made perfectly for a 6mm bolt, which is what I have here, and different lengths. So I went back and forth trying to figure out how I wanted this to clear. So what I ended up doing is I ended up using this setup here. Again, guys, I'm not going to say, oh, you got to use this one and this one. And go ahead and adjust the height however you want to. Just make sure that you have the right size bolt. There's these here. I thought I could use the ones that were a bit longer, and they ended up being too long. It wouldn't tighten down just because it bottoms out inside the threaded insert of the bottom of that rack. So it seems like these were the best ones. 6mm by 1.0 by 30. They seem to work pretty well. For me, anyway. You guys can, if you do this, just pick whatever length you want, whatever size and all that stuff. And then for inside of the actual lid of the trunk, I went ahead and had, now I had these, it didn't come with it, I had these fender washers. I coated them with some rubber on the bottom, and then undercoating on the top. And the kit for this does come with this bottom piece that slides on the actual metal. This is that what I just showed you, and I just happen to have some spare rubber washers. It didn't come with this either, so I just happen to have some of these, a nice thick one, so that worked out really well. And this is going to go kind of like this. That's going to go on there, and then after the screw is in, so you don't see it, I even have some of these that I bought a long time ago, and that's going to go on top. So basically, underneath the trunk, when you open it up, it'll look like this. Again, to me, that's close to factory because it looks really nice. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. So the good thing about just popping these little felt feet on, you can get these anywhere, Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, is stick it to it. Make sure you get the area exactly where you want to do it. I still need to go ahead and put blue tape all over this. And I'm going to go ahead and put some paint on here, just a little drop. So when I actually put this into place and press it down on the blue tape, I have exactly where the holes will go. Okay, so it's going to end up looking like this. Some of the guys want to slide it down. That's cool. You want to slide it up. I just want it right in between, with a gap between the emblem wing and the actual rack about that much. Up here, I've got a pretty good gap for the back. Off to the sides, this is how that'll look. And these little legs will come in handy for, you know, the bungee cord and all that stuff. And the neat thing is the angle is just about perfect. It's basically like right about this. So at least it looks a bit different. It's discreet. It actually fits on top of the trunk itself. It's not so big that it goes up the side like a giant bread basket or something. They also sell this in black. Some of the guys like that. Some of the guys, there's one guy on there that used like drawer knobs or something like that, which is cool, but I just wanted something that after I install it kind of looks like all the hardware, those little black legs. It'll kind of look like it came from the factory. So let me see what I can come up with to get underneath that where it's not perfect, so it's going to sit flush and actually make a nice tight seal. So let me see what I can come up with. So I've tried everything. I've looked into my bins here and different types of some of those rubber washers I had back here. So I kind of looked at those. I looked at grommets, maybe cutting a grommet in half or something like that. And honestly, I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'll get the holes drilled first. And then the bottom, this is the bottom of course, the bottom portion of this spacer, I'll basically just take a file to it and file it just to match the bevel. So that, yeah, so this bevel right here will be at an angle. And that'll hold this rubber washer at an angle, give me a nice tight seal. I think that would be the best thing instead of trying. I tried everything. At first I went into my little bag of tricks here. I thought about maybe an O-ring. But the more I look at it, the O-ring that would fit would be this one right here. And it's just too thin. Even if it was thicker, I think it would look kind of tacky and all that stuff. So O-rings are out of the question. But I think the best thing for me to do would be to get this where I could basically put it on there, get the holes drilled, put this on, and then take them apart one at a time. Maybe try the front ones first. Take this center portion out, put it, follow it out to it slightly beveled to match the contour of the trunk, and then match that side to this one, and do the same back here to get this rubber washer to sit flat and for it to tighten up and apply equal pressure to the plastic. Again, I know this is a pain in the butt. You guys are probably thinking, oh, God. But it's got to sit flush. And freaking Kawasaki, as much as I love them, they don't want to make the part anymore for us. And the aftermarket Curvature one, it looks okay. Some of the guys have done that. Just me personally. It's just a personal thing. I don't really care for it. So I'm going to do my best on this one. I just want it to look nice. I want it to look factory by the time I'm done with it. And I want it to look finished, and I don't want it to leak. I don't want to have any problems. And I don't want to have to just put this thing in crooked, so when you look at it from the side, it looks like, oh, you must have put this on. I can't handle that. It's got to be perfect. So I think that's what I'm going to do. So let me get some blue tape on the trunk. You can use masking tape. The only thing I don't like about masking tape, you know, that beigey colored stuff, is the adhesive comes off of the tape and it sticks to whatever it is you're working on. This blue tape here, or even Frogger, that green tape, is actually really good because it sticks really well. It gives you a nice clean line if you were painting, which I'm not. But it comes off really easy, and it does not leave the adhesive behind. And don't be afraid to use a bunch. Some guys will be like, man, that's a lot of tape. Yeah, I think I just used about maybe a nickel's worth of tape. So versus, you know, carving this up and spending like $1,000 getting it repainted. So don't be skimpy on the tape. Give yourself a nice working area. Of course, you'd need more if you get one of the other racks or something like that. But give yourself a nice working area. And then you can go ahead and drill your holes. And also, I need to take some of this stuff out here because I don't want the drill going through the top. And, of course, puncturing this, God forbid, a water bottle, my cover, my backrest or something like that. So I'm going to go ahead and take all this out. And that way it's nice and empty. And then I get these drilled out. So, again, what I'm going to do to make sure it's lined up just perfectly is I'm going to take some paint, a little drop paint, put on the bottom of each one of these little felt pads, which peel right off. And then I can line this up, press it into place, and that'll give me 4 perfect marks at the angle I need to be at. So that's the next step. Again, guys, I know this is a pain in the rear end, and if they just made one for this, you could just mark it up and you'd be done and off you go. But no, Kawasaki doesn't make it anymore. Some of the guys even use some of the other companies, like for an Indian. I think there's even one for the Yamaha when that was out. But anyway, there isn't. And I just happen to like this one, so it's the one I'm going to use. So bear with me, I'll take you through the journey here. So for now, I've got some little magic marker things when I basically get the paint on here. So I can press this down and get the 4 little spots drawn where I need to drill. You can put this however you want, guys. I just wanted it close, but not too close to the front seat, so I can get something up there. In the back, I didn't want it to cover the emblem. It would look too crowded back here. So this is kind of what I came up with. Again, from the side, it'll be a little bit lower because the top of the screw and the pad will not be there. So this will be just a smidge lower, which will give it that nice tight look. And from a distance, that's the way it's going to look. So this is going to be pretty cool, in my opinion. You guys might not like this. Again, there's a black one that's out there. There's ones where it's completely straight and it doesn't have these little round nubs. Some of the guys do that. Again, it depends on what you want. This chrome one here, I thought about black, but the chrome just kind of goes with the rest. I don't really have anything big like that that's black here. So once I get this on, at least, you know, if I go camping or something like that, I need to throw something up here and bungee it down, I'll be able to do that versus not being able to do anything right now because all I have is the trunk and my bags, which I kind of keep packed with quite a bit of stuff. I don't like to have anything, you know, holding me up like a flat tire. I got a plug set and all this stuff, some tools, you know, a little charger. There's actually a lot of stuff in these. I even carry some spare fuel in case I run into a buddy that's out of fuel. I can at least give him a quart to hopefully get him to a gas station. So let me go ahead and pull this off and get the black paint on those pads, get it marked, and be ready to do the final drill. I got to make sure this is right where on it because I only got 1 shot at it. Otherwise, I've got holes in my lid. Okay, I actually used some magic marker ink on those pads. So here's the pad here, right in the middle here, and right in the middle here. Disregard these lines. I was at an angle, so these aren't set up. Right, so everything's out of the trunk. Of course, there's that little panel on one of my videos I put in for you guys, a USB-C and a regular USB with an on and off. And actually mounted it right here, ran all the wires and stuff. That's on another video. That way I can take my cell phone, throw it back here, plug it in, and then use my Apple CarPlay up on there that I can just clip onto that ball and not worry about the cell phone for the GPS running out of any juice. So, okay, so everything's out of here. Let's get this closed. I'm going to double check these one more time. These marks here, I'm going to put some more ink on the actual rack itself. Make sure these are exactly where it needs to go. I only got 1 shot at this, and they have to be right on. So I'll do that, and then we'll get to the hardest part for me, which is going to be drilling, because you only get 1 shot at this. Okay, there we are. Excuse the smudge as I was holding it in place with one hand, trying to take another measurement off of here. It slid down, but I have plenty of tape. So that's remarked. You can see this one a bit better, along with this one here. So that is about it. And I'll probably take from the center of this to the edge, not the seat, because that might be mounted. There's a little bit of play there, but the hard edge is not. So I'll take another measurement just in case between here and the edge, just to make sure that all lines up. Because, you know, measure once. Actually, I should say measure twice, cut once. For me, it's measure 100 times and drill once. Again, you only get 1 shot at this, and I love this bike. That's such a weird feeling. 3 holes or pilot holes are drilled. You can see them right through here, going right through. Ah, man, I feel so weird. But okay, and I double checked. I even put the rack back on here just to double check. So let me go ahead and drill the holes, just so it's tight to the thread, not so you have to force the thread through or screw it through. but I want the hole to be as small as possible just to fit the bolt. Okay, this is a 1/4 inch drill bit. It's just a little bit bigger. All right, let's see how that works with the bolt. Oh yeah, perfect. So it looks like 1/4 inch for these 6mm bolts here. You get the other 3, and then I can kind of test fit this one. Okay, there's the 1/4 inch holes, little plastic curls on the floor. And let's have a look inside here. That feels good. That one feels good. This one, yeah, that'll be fine. I figure the worst case scenario, I've got some automotive plugs I could press in there. No, I'm only kidding. Let me go ahead while the tape is on and stuff still, and let me try test fitting this rack here. So I'll get back with you guys. I just need to take off this felt stuff and take the bolt out, because this all goes in from the top. It's kind of weird like that, but that's just the way it is. And then, of course, when I'm all done and happy, I'll get this installed, and I'll take the bolts out one at a time again, because I'm only going to snug it. I'm not going to make it tight after the tape is off and I do the final install. But after it's fine, then I'll take the bolts out one at a time, put a little medium thread locker on there so I can snug this up. Again, not tight. You don't need to reef it down and try cracking plastic, but snug it up so it's tight. And then the medium thread locker will keep things from loosening up. So let me take these out, take the pads off. Let me go ahead and install it on top of the blue tape, and we'll see how it looks. Okay, there's a loose fit right now. Kind of makes me mad. This back one here that's supposed to be a little color broke, but on the other hand, it doesn't look too bad to be just straight like that and going into my little fitting. Fit-wise, looks like I could take a little off the inside of this collar on the bottom, the inside, so that it has a bevel to it. So I'll probably do that to this one. Back ones actually look okay. Nothing to change there. That one looks okay, and the same thing here. So I'll take these out one at a time. And I'm going to keep doing all this stuff while the tape is on here to kind of protect the top. Once I'm all happy with it, then I'll take the tape off, install this one more time. I am going to take all these off since, what the hell, I lost the one on the other side. Okay, this one file down at an angle. So that's getting to be better of a fit. Let me go ahead and get the other side. And like I said, the rear ones actually look okay. Said the backs are okay. I still need to take it apart anyway for the tape, and also remove this first collar. It's going to sit just like this, and you can see that's sitting flush now since I went ahead and tapered the end of this. Sat there filing it, forget it. So I got out the old grinding wheel with a fine stone, and same with this side here and here. So what I need to do is carefully take this off, get the tape off, and then go ahead and put this back on. And I may actually put the Loctite on now. Plus, I need to install the fender washers and the other black washer that I have that goes in here. And then the caps to go ahead and dress it up. Okay, so there's the 4 holes. Tape is off. I did take the 2 lower collars and actually bevel them just slightly. They needed it. So now I just need to put, we'll start putting this back together along with Loctite and the washers this time, and we should be good to go. So let me take you guys through that. Again, it's just real easy. Put the rack on, put the spacers back on, put the bolts in. Again, we're going to add these fender washers. These were zinc chromate, so they were, well, not zinc chromate, they were cadmium plated. They look like brass, but it was a coating for anti-corrosion, and that'll go on first, kind of to spread the load. And then over that will be one of these plastic washers that came with it, along with the bolt. And yeah, that'll spread the load out really nice. And with those collars being beveled, it'll actually spread the load out on the other side. I don't have to worry about any cracking. And I'm getting excited now. Now that I got the stupid holes in there, I'm getting excited to go ahead and get this done. Okay, just to keep you guys in the loop. So originally I went with a nice tight 1/4 inch drill bit, and the tolerances were so tight I couldn't move it around to line up the threads. One of the threads started to get messed up, so I pulled it all off and actually used 6mm tab to make sure the threads were all clean. Loctite is in there. So I ended up going to a 932. That gave me a little bit more wiggle room to get everything lined up. Now, if you guys are using 6mm and you go to 932s, you won't have to worry about doing this. It's just that when you start the screw, put it in maybe only about 3 threads, maybe 4 at the most, so that you can wiggle the bolts around to make sure they're all lined up. Speaking of lined up, I did, like I said, trim off the back ones here so that they're actually nice and level. Up here, same thing. That's all nice and level, and the same thing with the other side. So all I need to do is tighten this up. Back here we have the 4 bolts. Again, I got the big giant flat washer in there, and then I have the small black plastic one, and these are all lined up. And then I'll have something special for this to go ahead and hide these. So let me go ahead and tighten it up, but not too tight. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Of course, that's when the battery dies, right, when you're trying to do something. So I have these nice little covers for this. I usually buy all kinds of bolt covers. I have videos on it and all that stuff. So let's see what this looks like all dressed up. Okay, so this is the bolt cover. So we have the black fender washers, a little black plastic one. And again, I would suggest getting the 2 different types of bolts, the sizes and the lengths, depending on what spacer you use. And that way you'll be all set and you won't be right in the middle of a project. And I still need to go ahead and polish this all up. But basically that's it. It's not going to touch there. It's just nice and tight. It's not too close to the wing. And of course the hardware actually looks really nice. And of course when you bungee down, you can use these underneath. I can use the legs now that I have. And I like it, guys. There it is right there. That's my new luggage rack, being a little bit different than everybody else. And one last look at the product here. Some of you guys might be concerned about why is this at an angle. That doesn't really bother me. Every time I've used anything, I put something on here, and I have a cargo net 4-corner that actually holds it all in place. And of course I can always bungee it this way over the top too. It's not anything heavy, it's just big bulky light stuff. Sleeping bag, tent, something like that. At least I finally have something on there that's not going to interfere or hurt the paint or any of that stuff. And kind of like the way it came out. It's not for everybody. Some of you guys are probably going to just be absolutely squirming and going nuts over the look of this thing. Not liking it, but I do. It's just something, I like it a lot better than the other ones. And I like it how it's sleek. And now I can put something up there and I don't have to worry about scratching up the trunk. Anyway, guys, I just want to give you a quick update now that it's done. Let you have a look at it. Anyway, you know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that bell notification for future content. I'll go ahead and get this on YouTube just as quickly as I can.